It's time to talk weed, drag queens, and fake friends. Well, welcome to d.side, where the D stands for digital, you pervs.
Yeah.
This show, we talk about everything from the digital side to celebrate our lives and our fake personalities online.
Love it.
This whole show is about. Joining us today is, and this is our podcast, by the way, it's our first episode. We'll be doing this every week, so we hope everybody joins. If you're listening to this, great. If you're watching this, fantastic. If you are watching this and listening, this is Stephanie Vasquez, our social media queen and host of High End, the new digital series that we're gonna shamelessly self-promote today that we all were involved in. Yeah, plug. And of course, our in-house troll, Instagram troll, Tyler Robinson.
Amazon /editor.
But also Drag Race expert, I'm gonna call you, because you know way more than anybody.
I will not argue with that.
Yeah, he's an expert.
And we're gonna talk a little bit drag queen, drag race stuff soon. But let's start with what we talked about, High End.
Okay.
This is a new show that we all three were involved in. So full disclosure, we kind of all, well, you more than us, but we kind of were there. Tell us about it and tell us where, obviously, what it's all about and why we did this show.
Yeah, so High End was based off of the idea that we thought that it was a missing kind of story, I guess, about luxury cannabis world and really kind of targeting to women and women in the cannabis industry and just really featuring the luxurious side of that world. So we did some pretty cool things. You did wine and weed pairing with me, which was really cool. We had an expert come in and tell us how to pair the terpenes with those different strains of weed, which was really awesome. And then Tyler and I are currently working on an episode that we were trying out all CBD products. So changing out our regular makeup with CBD makeup. So that's an up-and-coming episode that everyone should watch. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Taking our skincare to new heights, but no panic attacks involved.
And we'll tell now, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's on this actual channel, the instant.me channel. And so if you are listening to this, though, it's instant.me, spelled out, instant, D-O-T-M-E. And you can find, we have 3 episodes up now, as we're talking. Probably 2 more, we think.
A few more.
We're aiming for 2 more.
And I think, like Stephanie said, even if you're not into all that, or if you don't smoke or whatever, just seeing the contrast between what you're used to knowing about it, being traditionally associated as this rugged lower brow thing, but now you're seeing it lifted into this high-end sort of culture. So
well, you said it on the first episode and everything. You want to break the stoner stereotype, which is it's not just a bunch of dudes sitting around on couches smoking it up, eating Cheetos, even though it is.
Even though it's definitely that.
But that's not the weed everybody deals with. And we even being with you at the wine and weed pairing and bringing in the experts that it was blew my mind a little bit. It was crazy how that it all intertwined together. And I think even if you don't, like we said, even if you don't smoke, if you watch that episode specifically, it's really fascinating.
Yeah, and I would be open to trying that wine and those sort of things.
It was delicious.
Now, so.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think as legalization has happened, it's becoming a lot more normalized, and I feel I've started to incorporate pot into my everyday life. Not I'm smoking all the time, but really, it's the benefits of it. It
the healing
makes
properties.
Me feel
well, you'll learn a little bit
anxious.
about THC, CBD, that kind of stuff too. And it's a great digital series because we can hit on all these little different areas. You can literally, I hate saying binge watch things, but you could just watch a quick episode. Some are shorter than others.
Yeah.
The wine and weed is a little longer because we have a lot to cover. And sometimes you're just, you're showing mani-pedi stuff with CBD and it's quick and to the point.
Yeah.
And it's great because then you're already online and you can just Google
so
whatever else you need to know. So
and also share.
Yeah.
And also share.
Also share that episode if you really like it.
Yeah, definitely
Shameless plug.
Yeah, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
That whole shameless.
Comment down below, ring that bell.
Yeah, no, really. But so High End, it's on this channel. Like I said, if you're watching this channel, find it.
Yeah.
If you're not on the channel watching and you're listening, it's the instant.me YouTube channel. But I think something that's taking off, obviously, RuPaul's Drag Race has become a cultural
and very
thing
quickly,
now,
very recently, very fast.
Even though it's been 10 years in, this thing has become huge. And I think what's interesting is the online presence of just drag queens in general has skyrocketed. And I mean in every sense of the word, where now where we used to watch, when we started it here, it's we would watch all these YouTubers kind of, some had been around a while and some had started, and you're watching them become different things and have personalities. And I think you're watching that with drag queens finding their like social media
Yeah.
following. It's like
There's a bit of like
weird.
a tribe aspect to it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they're like, if you're team Trinity or team Alyssa,
Yeah.
I'm always team Alyssa, by the way, but there's a sense of almost like community branched around each drag queen herself. And then, you know, they all have their own drag mother. And so it becomes this family online. And I think part of the other side is the vocabulary used from the show, from drag queens.
Right.
So
It's its own language.
Yeah, it's its
Yeah.
own language. And so people see these memes online and they surface immediately.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, where did this come from? You know, and it all ties back either to the show, to drag culture. So it's really blowing up, and I'm very excited.
I would say it's like everything around drag queens. It's either spoilers, drama, shade, or
Yeah.
like just comedy. Because it's literally they've
Yes.
hit everything. Like you said, it's a language which we all speak a very different language online. The memes is like once you're memed.
That's it.
You're
Vanjie.
famous.
I mean,
Yeah.
Once you're meme, it's good. Spoilers from the show. People will either post and get shredded.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which you've learned your lesson, like
Oh.
with people who
Do people tag you?
post.
Oh no.
No, they just
Well-
post like, here's what's going on, and then you're like, so
Yeah.
you got to stay off.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
never
like-
know what like an actual spoiler is, and there's always some truth to any rumor, right? So it's like I don't want to look at any of it. I have friends that will text me during the show that I don't even open
You're
the
not,
text
like,
message.
looking
Because,
at
right.
that, yeah.
So it's there's a lot of like I don't know heat packed with it. Like
Do you watch
Okay,
the
so
show? I don't even
because-
not even just the show, or do you follow
because
anybody?
of Tyler and because a lot of my friends, they all watched it, and so I watched it. I started watching it last season, so during All Stars. So I didn't go back and do the 10 seasons of or whatever of All Stars plus like the regular show, but I started watching last season and I love it, and I'm obsessed with it now. So I really love Ben de la Creme. I loved him, her.
All Stars 3.
Yeah, All Stars 3, and yeah, I'm currently watching it.
I just think if you don't have to, when people talk about drag queens, it's not just RuPaul's Drag Race, and I
Right.
think
Yeah.
especially on the digital side, which that's what we talk about. It's like you can actually follow some of them and completely get engulfed in like their world
Yeah.
alone, and you don't have
Well-
to watch the actual show to be fans of like we follow tons of people online that
Yeah.
aren't necessarily on a show.
Yeah.
I
And we
always
don't-
had this,
and we
like,
don't know
theory
them.
too that like part of that crossover is because like these queens, they have these. It's like a persona. It's a facade in a way that they create, and so I feel like for a drag queen, it's like exaggerated. But who doesn't do that online to some extent anyway? So it's like whoa, like it's the makeup, it's the comedy. They're an entirely different person. So even if you don't want to do drag, it's like it is very intriguing, you know. And I think that's another like luring them into
Yeah.
you know.
It's
show
a
the
it's
culture.
That's why I'm shocked. Like social media, drag queens and social media hasn't become like bigger before now. Well, to end every episode of D.side, we are gonna do some group therapy, which is like a little psychological, like social media discussions.
Okay.
Right.
And like recently, I was thinking like we all post everything and anything almost all the time, and I realized I've referenced things to friends that they've posted about, but they've never spoken to me about. And I forgot, like, it used to be one of those things like, how was your day? And you would tell me your day, but I don't need to ask you how your day is anymore because
Right.
Yeah.
you showed me, I already saw that. So either we just don't discuss your day, or I ask you about something you posted, and then I just feel like it then comes off like surface level fake friendship because I actually,
Right.
it's a cheat. It's almost like Cliff's Notes to like your life.
That's
Get
true.
set up, and then I'm like, is that creating a little bit too much of a shallow like interaction with my friends
and
because
then
we are not actually asking about each other.
Yeah.
We already know it, and then I have nothing to talk
And
to
then
you
if
about.
you see them and then you don't acknowledge that either, if you saw it or you didn't see it or you just don't say anything, then are you the bad friend
Right. Right.
for not
I've-
acknowledging it?
I've done that too with like not like a friend but like an acquaintance, and like I probably haven't talked to that person really at all much for like the past like month. But then I saw somebody and I was like, oh, I saw that you did this, and she was like, oh wait, did I? And she like. Like she forgot, and like I was like, wait, this is awkward now, and like because I follow her life so much on social media that like I don't actually see her in person, but I'm having these
Well,
conversations that are like
And
awkward.
I'm gonna one up it is like I know people, let's say an acquaintance, or I'm around them enough that, but we're friends, but we're not close friends, or they're friends of friends, whatever. But I don't know if I think we're friends because I know everything about them because I just pay attention to everything they post and do and say.
Right.
That I actually think I'm their friend.
Yeah.
But you know,
But in reality, we're just on one of these.
Right.
Like
Yeah, it's
in
not,
real
you
life
don't know
without
the
social
person.
media, we're a nod and smile and how are you and move on, and then like,
I-
but we think we're more than that because I know exactly what you had for dinner last night.
Right,
Because,
right,
and
right.
like, I guess the takeaway is even if I see you post something, like, tell me the story behind it, and then
Yeah.
maybe then we'll have like that'll make it feel more real and not just like.
Yeah.
I was in this weird place and got that, and you just post it and walk away from it, and then like
Yeah.
don't ever talk to your friends about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys. This is nice. If you're watching, make sure you subscribe on this channel. And what else I can do? Subscribe, follow. If you're listening, follow.
Share.
We're gonna be back every week. Thank you guys.
Thank y'all.